You might be knowing Apple to be infamous for starting these weird trends, which, of course, the competition would, what do you say, mock in the beginning, and then they'll follow Apple's roots again. So the first thing is the 3.5 jack. So Apple was working on its AirPods first generation, and of course they had to sell that product. So in which device was it, Gautam, that they ditched the 3.5 jack?
iPhone 7.
Okay, so to market their AirPods first generation, they ditched the 3.5 jack from the iPhone 7. And Apple always does this. They give some weird reason for ditching the feature, and they launch their other product, which later goes on to lead the market. For example, now the AirPods, I guess, is leading the market. And now the, like, in general, the whole TWS market has just grown a lot because of the removal of 3.5 jack. And I feel Bluetooth headphones are good, but you can't compare them to wired. So you'll have to use a wireless, because now most of these flagship devices don't have 3.5 jack. It's good that they're giving 3.5 jack still in budget devices. I don't know when is that gonna go. I hope it never does, but still. The next one is removing charger from the box, citing environmental concerns. We all know how environmentally concerned all these companies are. And I think we've told this before, but we'll give you the same example again. By not giving the charger in the box, like suppose now you're getting faster chargers. So if you had an old iPhone, you would have maybe a 10-watt charger or maximum 15-watt. And nowadays you have 25-watt support. And in Android phones, you have 45, 65, and even 120 with the latest Xiaomi 11T Pro. But good thing is Xiaomi has given the 120-watt brick in their box. But when you don't give the charger in the box, you'll have to buy the latest charger which supports 65-watt or 45-watt charging, which is needed for optimal charging. Like you wouldn't be too happy using a 25-watt, like old, like some 3 4 years old charger to charge a new phone when you get it. So you'll have to go and buy a new brick and a cable, which, if you are ordering from any e-commerce site, comes with packaging. And all those extra cardboard waste is what you generate, and it doesn't help the environment in any way. So I feel that's another thing which I had done. And obviously at that time, Samsung and Xiaomi and others, they mocked Apple by saying that, by putting posts on social media saying that, oh, you need not worry, our phones come with the charger in the box. Like basically they were poking Apple. But after maybe a year or even 6 months, when they launch their next flagship, that's the same thing they do.
हिपोक्रेसी की भी सीमा होती है.
So that is another thing. And these brands, they don't copy like other good stuff from Apple, like camera optimization or even like software experience, like no bloatware or ads, that kind of thing from Apple. But they only copy the stuff that suits their needs in terms of profit. Like obviously, because selling lesser chargers will benefit them, and even they'll get a boost in their TWS market. Like almost every smartphone brand now, consider Realme, Xiaomi, Redmi, all the sub brands, everybody now has their own TWS. So they're profiting from that market by ditching the 3.5 jack. So they only copy from Apple when they think they get profit from it. So those are the main points which were there. If Gautam has to add anything, he can.
I don't have anything specifically to add, but what Atharv said is like plain facts. Companies just don't take what Apple actually does well on, and they just take all the shitty moves that Apple makes, and they ridicule Apple. Like the funniest part is they ridicule Apple for doing it, and then the next year they do the exact same thing. Samsung has been like the biggest one for doing this, because like at least the other company, like, okay, many companies followed what Apple did, but at least they didn't mock Apple. But Samsung has been doing this repeatedly, and I think they should have some shame. I mean, I don't know. And Apple also isn't to be excused for doing this. I know Apple actually works on being like carbon neutral and stuff, but that doesn't mean not including a charger. At least include it for free if we ask for one. And we clearly know like how big of a difference including the charger and not including the charger mix, but have they ever like stopped to think the extra packaging they have to put for like an extra charger? Or even Apple has to realize that people will buy their chargers more if they start including it in their product. So in case like suppose someone's charger stops working, like if for example if my iPad charger stops working, I'd go and buy the actual iPad one, like the charging brick at least, because I trust Apple like in what they do. But now if they don't put it for free, I'd be like, already I didn't get one from Apple, so I've already invested in another brand. So I'm like, okay, I trust this brand enough, I'll why make the purchase and buy a more expensive version from the Apple. That's what I think, honestly. But apart from that, I think Samsung also like did a bad move from removing the charges. But I companies need to work on this. And like the mid-range companies are doing better. Just imagine, like they've come to a
Yeah,
point
they're
where we can
providing
actually recommend.
65-watt bricks in
They
there.
provide cases also with their phones. So like
No, we
I don't
never
know.
had cases with the flagship, so it's fine. But they're providing 65-watt, even 120-watt bricks. They're giving Xiaomi in their latest 11T Pro gives 120-watt charging brick in the box. So I feel
Hmm.
the flagship should also give, but it all depends on these companies what they want to do.